Welcome to your stay in the 5th. Located on the left bank of the Seine, the 5th arrondissement is one of the oldest areas in Paris, having been built by the Romans. It's the perfect harmony of history, gardens, and museums with a vibrant nightlife and restaurant culture, and is a welcome space for students, residents, and tourists alike. The total area of the 5th is 2.5 kilometers squared, so it's definitely dense, but largely walkable. I have so much to show you guys in today's video. I'm so excited. I think if you're really trying to narrow down where you want to stay when you're visiting Paris, then this video and this series is going to be perfect for you. Before we get into it though, I do want to take a quick sec to thank the sponsor of today's video, Time Kettle. Today's video is sponsored by Time Kettle and their WT2 Edge translator earbuds, which is a device that I think will completely enhance your travel experience. They've completely revolutionized communication in that they give you the possibility of having a real fluid conversation with someone that you otherwise wouldn't be able to because of a language barrier. Essentially, these small but very powerful earbuds give you real-time translation during a conversation. So when you share an earbud with a partner and you wear the other one, everything that you say in your language gets translated directly into their language, and vice versa. Okay, so I thought a fun way to show you guys how these earbuds work is for Jean and I to tell you how we met, except Jean will be speaking in French and I will be speaking in English. Okay, are you ready?
Oui.
Perfect. So, please tell us what was the first thing you remember from meeting me?
Alors, c'était un entraînement de basket il y a maintenant 1 an et demi. Donc un ami en commun, David, m'a proposé de venir à cet entraînement de basket et c'est donc la première fois où on s'est rencontrés. Et donc on a fait un match, un 2 contre 2.
Wait, you forgot to say that it was the best day of your life.
Oui, bien sûr, mais pas besoin de le dire, c'est normal. Ça coule de source.
The first thing I remember, if I'm allowed to speak, okay, is that I remember Jean was the best player by far, but also you were so nice. He had the nicest heart, and I was like, what am I gonna do? He's such a great guy, but he's a little bit short. The WT2 Edge translator earbuds have 95% accuracy in 40 languages and 93 accents, 0.5 to 3 second fast translation speed, smart noise reduction, and 12-hour battery. Jean and I were using the simultaneous mode, which is on-the-fly translation, but there are other really useful modes as well. You have the listening mode, where you place the mic of your phone close to the speaker and wear the earbuds to listen to the translation. And you also have the speaker mode, which allows you to place the microphone close to the speaker and you to wear the earbuds and listen to the translation. All in all, I really like the Time Kettle WT2 Edge translation earbuds, and I would offer them more than any other translation service or device just because they do the best job in maintaining the integrity of the actual conversation. The earbuds allow for a hands-free experience, so you can be 100% present in the conversation that you're having without having to pass the device back and forth or to change the language every single time someone wants to speak. The device also works offline in 8 languages, including French, which is a total game changer. I feel really good knowing that I have these little guys in my back pocket for my next trip. A big thank you to Time Kettle for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. Now, some of the most popular museums and monuments in the 5th that you're going to want to visit include the Pantheon and the Cluny Museum, which is the National Museum of the Middle Ages. Also, inside the Jardin des Plantes Botanical Garden, you have 4 more of my absolute favorite museums: the Gallery of Mineralogy and Geology, the Gallery of Paleontology and Comparative Anatomy, the Gallery of Evolution, and the greenhouses that host everything from tropical to desert flora and fauna. Now, while the Jardin des Plantes is the most impressive garden in the 5th arrondissement, don't forget about the Esplanade du Quai Saint, which is a really great open green space along the Seine. There's a sculpture garden and lots of little coves where people love to dance in the evenings. arrondissement is home to the Grand Mosquée de Paris and also has some of the oldest churches in Paris. The Paroisse Saint-Séverin, for example, is a Gothic-style Catholic church built in the 12th century, and the Église Saint-Médard built in the middle of the 15th century. Next to the church, you also have the legendary Rue Mouffetard, which is one of the oldest and most picturesque streets in the city. There has been a road here since the Romans. It's a very lively street where you can find a market-style ambiance lined with bars, cafes, and restaurants, making it one of Paris's most popular nightlife hotspots. And when it comes to nightlife, the Fifth certainly is top tier. Alongside the Rue Mouffetard, you also have the Latin Quarters, which straddles the 5th and the 6th arrondissement. The Latin Quarter is famous for bars and cabarets and is home to Paradis Latin, one of the oldest cabarets in Paris. While you're here, you certainly can't forget the cobbled road Rue de la Huchette. I wouldn't necessarily recommend dining here since it's mainly tourist trap restaurants, but you do have some really standout establishments, like the Caveau de la Huchette for live jazz music, as well as the Théâtre de la Huchette offering live theater performances. When it comes to transportation, the Fifth is predominantly connected to Metro Lines 7 and 10, and the metro station Saint-Michel is also on the RERB train line. This means that if you're arriving from the Charles de Gaulle airport, you have a direct line into the Fifth and can be there in just under 40 minutes without having to transfer to a different line. Okay, time to check into the hotel. Jean and I are staying at the 4-star Hotel Monte Cristo, which is a 10-minute walk from the Jardin des Plantes. I found the hotel really clean and well decorated, and the staff were quite friendly. The bar and restaurant looked very intriguing as well, and there was also an elevator which I took up to the 2nd floor to see our room. I just walked into what is probably the bougiest hotel that I have ever and will ever stay in. I thought I would give you guys a quick room tour. The style of room that we have is called the boudoir, and I think it's the smallest room that they offer, but it's totally fine. It's perfect for just Jean and I. Right off the bat, the bed looks very clean and really comfy, which I absolutely adore. There's a little desk with water. I'm really excited to see the view. Okay, it's not the prettiest Paris rooftops, but that's okay. The hotel room is pretty enough. Once again though, we do love that the windows are double paned. As soon as you shut them, you can't hear anything. Love that. Great for a good night's sleep. Let me show you guys the bathroom. Again, it's just the most beautiful hotel bathroom I think I've ever seen. Knowing that this is their lowest tier of room, I'm like, what do the more expensive tiers look like, you know? One thing that I really like that screams 4-star hotel is that they don't have paper cups. They have these nice little porcelain cups, hand wash, body lotion, and there's also a towel rack. The tiling is also very beautiful, and the shower is huge. One thing as well that I didn't show you guys is the storage, which is by far the most spacious and best organized that I've seen in Paris. There's this little closet here. Definitely big enough for a one-night stay. And I love that they included more than 2 hangers. I've already hung up my jacket, but we also have our 2 bathrobes. Okay, enough chit chat, let's talk price. The experience we booked was the Saigon Express on the Staycation website. For the price of €203 per night, we got the classic room and a 45-minute time slot at their private spa. Our experience also included a cocktail of choice at the bar and breakfast the next morning. Now, I crunched the numbers for you guys. I checked their website to see what the price would be if we booked directly from the hotel and not staycation for the exact same dates, and it would be about €236 per night, not including the cocktails, so we did get somewhat of a deal. Once Jean got to the hotel, we headed straight down to our 6 p.m. appointment at the spa. The space was so much bigger than we expected. It was really special to have it all to ourselves. From the fabrics to the furniture to the overall color palette, the spa was a really luxurious interlude from the busy streets of Paris. My only complaint, if I really had to think of one, would be that the pool could have been just a couple degrees warmer. Once our 45 minutes were up, we headed back to our room to get ready for the evening. Okay, we're on our way to the hotel's bar to have our cocktail, and then dinner, and then a jazz bar. Come on. The hotel bar was really exceptional. Even if you aren't staying at the hotel, I definitely recommend this place for a date. The decor itself was very impressive and the cocktails were both Instagram worthy and absolutely delicious. Once we finished, we made our way back out into the 5th and down Rue Mouffetard for dinner. The streets look a little more empty than usual, but that's because A, it was a Monday, and B, it was raining. We had dinner at one of our favorite cheap eat spots, Tren Tren Zai, which is one of the best Chinese restaurants for homemade noodles. Dinner was fast and delicious, and now we're on our way to the Caveau de la Huchette, which is in the very famous Latin Quarter. I'm kind of excited. Last time we went, there was a very long lineup and way too many people, so we didn't end up staying. We're in line for a Monday night and we're not even sure we're gonna get in. There's so many people. I did not know it was this popular. Apparently you can reserve online though, so if we don't get in tonight, we'll do that next time. We thought that arriving by 9:15, 15 minutes before the show started, we would be fine. But even for a Monday, this live jazz bar was really busy. We had to wait in line for about 30 minutes and ended up getting in around 9:45. And it wasn't so bad at the start, but by 10 p.m. an impossible amount of people had squeezed into the basement of this bar, and if you weren't early enough to get a seat, then you were kind of constantly being shoved around. The music was amazing though, we had a really good time and we'll definitely go back, just maybe an hour before the show starts so we can get a good spot. Overall, staying in the 5th was really nice. It was definitely convenient to be within such close proximity to all the sites we wanted to see, both during the day and the evening. I will say though that during the day, the 5th is really crowded, especially along the Seine. So if you do stay in this area, I definitely recommend staying a little bit further back, maybe closer to the Pantheon, for example. But let me know what you think. Would you stay in the 5th?